Sounds like someone ready to global warming.
Public-private partnerships.
Okay, no, I don't know what that means.
I do know what that is.
Well, it is a public-private partnership where business and government tries to work together on a project.
I would say privatization is a transaction in which a private company is brought in to take over management of something that had previously been a publicly operated facility. And it's done in order to get the skills and the experience and the independence that a private operator can bring to that operation, and if it all works right, it also provides financial benefits to the public entity.
If you don't rebuild your infrastructure, then you fail. And if you go to China, if you go to Germany and Japan, and we built Germany and Japan after the Second World War, we built their infrastructure. And like anything, infrastructure provides jobs and economic opportunities for a lot of people and puts more money back into the economy.
Chicago, like many other big cities, is looking for ways to build new infrastructure and secure revenue without putting a burden on an already overtaxed public. Chicago has leased the Skyway, the city's parking garages, and is looking to close a deal on Midway Airport. Globally, the public-private partnerships have been around for years, generating billions of dollars in revenue for local governments. For example, airports in London, hospitals in Germany, and utilities in India are all examples of successful public-private partnerships. The question to privatize or remain public has created somewhat of a political firestorm around the world. In Australia, an attempt to privatize the Sydney ferry system met with protest.
Keep our Sydney ferries safe in public hands.
City governments and their citizens are debating whether privatization is a powerful tool for improving taxpayer services or a short-sighted measure to address pressing budgetary shortfalls. The answer depends on what side of the financial fault line you may stand on. It's a complex problem with many sharp angles.
We got to say no to the parking meters, no to the privatization.
All they want to do is sell off.
That I have to stick my credit card in here to pay you.
You can't just simply privatize everything.
A lot of the criticisms that have been leveled at the parking meter deal are frankly overblown in my opinion. I think there's a lot of gotcha journalism in there. On the other hand, this was not a good deal for the city of Chicago.
The parking meters, I think from a financial standpoint, were a terrific transaction for the city. The problem with the parking meters, and the mayor has acknowledged it, is that the city and the others involved really fouled up the transition from public to private operation of the meters.
It has the effect of de facto outsourcing urban planning control of our streets to this consortium. So, and this gets to the key risk of privatization that almost nobody talks about, and it's the way that privatization can handcuff you on public policy and stifle your ability to innovate in the public sphere.
The public entity can win because it gets the benefit of reduced costs and increased revenues and the ability to have a higher quality of service from the private operator. So all that can happen.
I think you can, in a private partnership deal, private-public partnership deal, still do them, and potentially even do some long-term ones. But you need to be very careful to structure them such that there's flexibility in the public realm and around bringing these policy innovations. Maybe it's more of a revenue sharing instead of a fixed fee lump sum. But there are other ways you can structure these deals so that the vendor and the city can come together around changes in policy over time to better manage the assets as conditions change in this dynamic world that we live in.
And it really has to be a win for the private operator, or you're not going to get anybody to give you $1,800,000,000 or $2.5 billion for an airport, or $1,157,000,000 for parking meters.
While the debate continues and various special interest groups from around the world pick sides, one thing is constant. Whatever decisions are made, they will impact generations to come, and everyone deserves a chance to contribute to an informed decision-making process.